everybody, and happy Wednesday. Today we are going to share with you breakfast and dinner. I'm not going to be here for lunch, so everybody's kind of fend for themselves today. And then tonight, when Charles gets home from work, we will share with you our budget update and what's going on with that. So here is breakfast, and then we'll get into dinner. Okay, today's breakfast is super simple. I'm just going to use some of this Greek yogurt. Just give it a quick stir. I'm going to add some Greek yogurt in here. Then I'm going to top it with a half an apple, some cinnamon, a few walnuts, and a drizzle of honey. That's it. That's today's breakfast. Super simple and fast. Alright, so tonight for dinner we were going to be making some turkey curry. But honestly, we're just kind of feeling pizza. So we're going to make some pizza real quick. I've shared my pizza crust with you guys a few times, and the recipe will be linked down below, and I'll share it with you again here real quick. It's a very easy to make, very delicious pizza crust. I'm going to start by preheating my oven to 425 degrees. And then I'm going to get my 2 pizza stones here ready to go. And we're just going to go on and whip up the crust real quick. Alright, I'm going to start with 2 cups of warm water. I'm making enough for 2 pizzas. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of yeast and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Now I'm just going to mix that up real quick. And then I'm just gonna let that sit for a few minutes to get nice and foamy. Okay, so you can see this is starting to get foamy. I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And I'm going to add 4 cups of flour. Now I'm making enough for 2 pizzas. And I'm just going to let this knead for just a few minutes. Okay, so now it's been a few minutes, but my dough is still looking pretty wet. So I'm going to add just a little bit more flour, probably about another half cup. It can be a little sticky, but you don't want it so wet that you can't even get it, you know, out of the bowl. So as you can see, this is more like what you want. So it's still a little bit sticking in the bowl, but it's not so wet you can't get it out of there. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is put this over on the counter, cover it, and just let this sit. See, I can still scoop it up a little bit. We're going to let this just rest for about 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, now while that is sitting there, just resting, I'm going to get a little bit of cornmeal onto my pizza stones. Some people like to make this in a cast iron skillet. I think that would be good too. I just only have 1, and I need to make 2 pizzas, so I just prefer to just put it on my stones. So there we go. I'm gonna put a little bit of that one on there. We're good. Okay, so now the dough has sat for a little bit. So I'm gonna just split it into two. I'm gonna sprinkle just a little flour on top. And I'm just gonna roll it. So, since I have cheese sticks, I haven't done this in a long time, I thought I would make a stuffed crust pizza. Now some people take a whole cheese stick and do it. I find a half a cheese stick is plenty. And you're just gonna kind of place it around the edges. Maybe I'll even do a third. I'll do it by thirds. And then all you do is roll your dough up and just kind of tuck it under. And this will give you that cheesy stuffed crust that you get, you know, if you order a pizza. A stuffed crust pizza. So I'll do one of them like this. I'm just making sure that I pinched all around in the end. And then I'm going to poke it with a fork and I'm going to preheat this for about 10 minutes in the oven at 425. Weird.
We either got 26 or 24 eggs.
Awesome.
Yeah. I know I am.
Okay, so the stuffed crust one is ready. So now I'm just going to add some of the pizza sauce. And just spread it. I'm keeping it super simple pizzas again tonight. I know I did that before too, but it's already going on 7 o'clock. I'm going to top it with a little bit of this Parmesan. And then I have this mozzarella. And then I'm going to add the pepperoni.
Well, you know.
Okay, so now this one is ready to go back in the oven. And then I'll pull out the other one. Okay, so here are the pizzas, all done. You can even see some cheese like bubbling out the bottom of the stuffed crust. So we'll do a taste test for you guys as soon as they cool off a little bit. Yes, baby. All right, Charles is gonna taste test for you guys, but I'll just kind of show you. You can't really see the cheese on the inside, but it's in there. See if he rips it open.
Yeah, there's the gooey.
There's some gooey cheese in there. All right.
I can't eat this piece, it's broken.
You can do it.
Mmm.
Very good.
Okay, very good, but very hot.
All right, so here you can see the cheese a little bit better than you could in his piece. It is definitely in there. And very good. All right, everybody, so now we're gonna go over what we were able to accomplish last month by being on a tight budget and sticking to our budget, and he is being so honored I should do this by myself.
I'm waiting to taste test dinner.
He is waiting. We're letting it cool, but we'll show you guys this. You're gonna see after we do the taste test of dinner, but
It's like Back to the Future.
we're filming it right now. Anyway,
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we'll just jump into it. So by cutting everything back the way we did, we were able to do some good.
Yeah, we
I'm
did.
surprised at what we were able to do. All right, so the first thing we were able to do is put $573 away for the animals.
Yeah.
Now what's that for?
So that is for, what do I have? I've got $350 toward Belle because we're getting her bred. That is for additional hay because when we get her in, we're actually going to need to get some hay and some grain. So that is just that kind of money and additional money for the chickens. So just remember when we talked about this the last go round, we had some goal setting that we were doing and we wanted to make sure we had money set back for those goals, for those things that we knew were coming, and that's just one of those things we knew.
Right. Okay, and then something else that we spent was, it was actually a little bit under 200. I think you figured it was 180 basically.
It's less than 175 actually.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, on canning supplies. Now luckily I already have a water bath canner. I have a pressure cooker canner. I already have probably 200 jars I already had. And I did manage to get a couple hundred more jars.
Yeah, I think that one of the pressure canner maybe was gifted to you.
By Helen.
Yes.
I don't know if she's still watching or not, but yes, Helen sent it to me. That was a few years back.
Yes, it was.
So I do have all of that, but and I have lots of lids. I have at least 1,000 lids that I got a few years ago, a lot. I would still like more canning jars though. Everything that I looked at said that if you have a good year, a good gardening year, that you most likely are going to want 500 to 550 canning jars to put stuff up. Now, those of you that can a lot, let me know. I've seen anywhere from that to a couple thousand. Well, I'm not going to have a couple thousand canning jars, and I'm not ready for that, but I am going to get some more. So we will spend a little bit more on that again next month, but we're trying to get it while we can get it because it's going to be gone before long.
So that's the big question is, can you have that many jars?
Oh heavens. All right, ta-da. And then we put
so the tractor.
Yes.
Still not back. I intended to call again today to find out what the status is. We're going on just $1,500 to $2,000. That money, we set it back. It is
so we set
in the
back,
bank waiting to go.
Right. We set back 2,000.
Yes.
So if it ends up being 1,500, then we
That's
have that extra 500
right.
that we will put the next month on
Right.
on our bills. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
We were able to put $600 to finish off our emergency money that we wanted. We wanted $3,000 emergency money. So we were able to do that. We just need another $600 to make that happen, and we did. We had $350 go towards those girls and school stuff. So
Back to school money.
yes, that we had to also spend. I don't know, what do you have this 276?
So that actually I think is wrapped up in the other.
Oh, in the
number.
573. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you tell them what do we have actually paid down on our actual debt.
So we've actually put down $1,000 on it now. So I think there's money in that goes toward interest, but the actual true debt that we're no longer paying interest on, it's like $600, $700 true debt wiped out, and that's a good thing. So that actually, we put down about 30% more than what we thought we would get down this month. So
just because we had wanted to put money away for the other stuff. So we
absolutely.
also still left $578, just kind of fluff money, which I know you could say, well, is an emergency money, fluff money. No, not really. I mean, it's there, but we want to use that for an emergency fund. So if something happens, like my dishwasher goes out, which will probably happen one day here before too long, or, you know, something happens with one of the cars or whatever, that's more what we want to make sure we have that money set aside for, and then we can restock it. But we don't want to pull our account down to where that's all we have in it is just our emergency money.
let me tell you how I measure success in what we did, and I'm being dead serious here. It was so easy to go through and kind of add things up and reconcile it at the end of the month, because we did really so little spending. There wasn't like this big long list of transactions we had to go through. You know, it was pretty straightforward and pretty simple.
We actually cut our spending by a little over $5,000 a month. Is what we ended up cutting our spending, and so we were able to divvy that out to this stuff. It actually is $5,283 is what we were able to put away and move to stuff. So we cut out a ton. Well, groceries was huge because we were easily spending $2,000, $2,500, somewhere in there on groceries very easily. And then, you know, just if we wanted something, we would get it. We really were being very careful about not spending extra money at all this month.
And there was a lot of waste there. There was a lot of stuff we were able to finally fix and put money back because we didn't pay it again. So like the subscriptions had shrunk way down now from all the ones we got canceled, including the Tone and Sculpt that we finally got done. Yay. But you know, it's more than just that. It's other simple things like on, you know, this hit me in, I got a call on that too. So I got a notice from Progressive that someone was going to get added to our car insurance. I had no idea of the name, but I have to call them to make sure that they don't get added to the policy. So I actually have to call Progressive.
We don't know who
I
they
forgot
are.
all about it. I have no idea who they are. But it got me to thinking, is the address on the policy right? And we moved out here in
A few years ago.
2020, into 2020, and it dawned on me that even though I had changed all the addresses right on the homeowner's policy, the auto insurance policy had the wrong address. So I'm sure it was probably just saying whoever lives at the old address needs to be insured, and I'm happy for them. But that was another like $30 a month that came off the car insurance bill once I moved it from where we were to where we are now. So it's just the nickel and diming. Yeah, it came down like $30 a month. Yeah, it's just the nickel and diming of all the things that we can control to make sure that we didn't have all this extra outgo. And it's tough.
Well, and little things like trying to consolidate trips. So like I went to the grocery a few days early. One, because we had a really crazy busy month. But also I was already on my way out there because Ronnie had her nail appointment, which I told you guys about. And that too, that is not something we are doing. That is, Ronnie had Christmas money, and that's what she did with her Christmas money. And she wanted to get nails done with Ash when Ash was home, and she needed to get the little touch up or whatever. And you know, that's what their money. We don't pay for that kind of stuff.
So I mean, our biggest savings, if you look at single categories, definitely groceries and the grocery bill. That was probably our number one, hands down, of where we were able to cut back money. There were things like in the gasoline charges. You know, I had planned for spending about $400 a month in fuel charges, and we only ended up spending like less than $320. So again, big savings there. I mean, there's just a lot of those categories as you're going down through there and adding up the dollars that make the difference. So now the key is we probably, between what we're budgeting and what we actually save from that budget, I don't know how to explain that right, we won't see as much fluff in February because I'm going to use the actuals for January. So we practiced in December. We got a lot better in January. You know, still had some rough patches in trying to remember to kind of track what we were doing, but was able to pull it all together. But in February, I'll be using the January actuals to kind of give me a little bit more of an idea of what we should be planning for when it comes to expenses. So,
and fluff money, I think he is talking about, not where I'm talking about extra money in the account. I think he's talking about where we said we were going to spend this maybe on gas and we spent way less.
Yeah.
So don't get that confused. And
leftover
also,
money out of the budget.
As long as we don't need to spend that money, even though we have that little bit of fluff now in our account besides all the other stuff, then everything extra should be able to go on the card.
It'll go all.
Yeah, onto the debt next month. So I know some of you will say, well, why didn't you just take that $5,000 and put it all on the debt? And our reason for that is because we don't want to have to use our credit cards.
Right.
If we don't need to. So right now we're only using them for like gas. That's pretty much it. And
no, I mean,
a little bit of animal feed, I guess. Or you've had to
Yeah.
get some stuff on Amazon, like his lights went out in his car, and he had to get new
and
headlights.
And we've got things like the cell phone bill
We have
still
some things
charges
to bill,
against that. So we, you know, all the subscriptions that we do still have, the Netflix or the Hulu Disney bundle, you know, all that stuff is still on there. It's not a lot, and I just, you know,
That's
I go
that
in.
stuff.
I go in every other week and just double check the balance and just pay it back down to zero. So it's not like it's a lot.
But we're not trying to use it.
Right.
So we're trying to use more cash versus just use the card.
Right.
And I think that makes a big difference too. And one of the other things we did that I think is a big difference for me, because it's about convenience, is I took my credit card off everything. So if I want something on Amazon, I got to go out and find my purse. I got to go find it. I got to get a credit card out. I got to do all this stuff. So I don't do it because I don't feel like doing all of that.
No, that's a great
Or if I want to order something from Walmart.com, I have to go find my purse and I got to find all this. So something I really need, I usually just tell them, give me your wallet because I don't know where my purse is half the time. But, you know, that's just some little tricks that just make it so you have to really want it if you're going to go through all of that.
Yep. It's kind of like not having convenience food.
Right, and we don't have convenience food. And that, I will tell you guys, as far as the $500 grocery budget, well, we did $400 in November and December, and then we did $500. It was definitely an adjustment because not having any convenience food, when I was able to go to the store a couple days ago, it was kind of a little bit of a hallelujah because some convenience food is just nice to have, like tortillas instead of having to make them just because we want them, which I was doing all of that for last month, and there's nothing wrong with that, and I'll still make them. But some convenience is nice, but we're not buying the other convenience stuff, like frozen pizzas, pizza bites, you know, all the granola bars, all that stuff. We make it ourselves.
Yep. Other places we saw a big impact, but it won't really hit us until next month, is in the electric bill. So we were about $300 less on the electric bill, but that bill actually gets paid in March. So, yeah.
And it's
It all
weird how
catches
they do
up.
the electric here. And somebody said, how do you have such high electric bills? We just do out here.
We just do.
Everybody does out here.
All right. Sorry about that. You noticed a different angle. Battery died. We're back. Just in time to wrap it up.
Yeah. We're going to go try this pizza. So, well, you guys will have already seen that though. So, we're going to go on and say goodbye from here. And then we'll be back the 1st of next month again with another update and let you guys know what we got paid down. But we're very happy with what we accomplished this month.
Oh, can I celebrate one other thing?
What?
517 eggs. You want to talk little pieces of gold nuggets? The girls gave us 517 eggs.
He's so happy about the eggs.
Hey, I'm posting it on Instagram.
We are actually at the point with the eggs that we are turning people away. So we are very grateful for that we're at the point that we have to say we can't do anymore.
Yeah, but we're not making money on the eggs. It's
No,
supplementing,
but we've made enough
Still
that
happy.
we don't pay for our eggs, which
Yep.
is nice. So
Awesome sauce. We'll talk more in another video, maybe give some website updates, what's going on with the recipes and that sort of stuff. In the future, that's enough for one day.
All right, but for right now, we'll see you guys tomorrow with another What We Ate. Bye, everybody. Have a great day or night, wherever you are.
Now, I'm going to go do exactly what you've already seen me do, which is taste test pizza.
Bye, everybody.